Gonzaga Nation SI. I'm your host, Dan Dickau. Our weekly chat with a member of the Kennel Club. Today's a senior from Mukilteo, Washington, on the west side of the state. She's been a part of the Kennel Club for most of her time at Gonzaga here in Spokane, but she's currently the social club coordinator. Thanks for joining Cameron Weaver. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dan?
I am well, thanks. It's a great time of year. It's now March 1st as we record this, which means the WCC tournament and the NCAAs are just around the corner. Let's go to your title in within the Kennel Club, and that is social club coordinator. Can you give us a little bit of an idea what that entails and how you became to take that role?
Sure. This year I am the social club coordinator and graphic designer for the club. But my social club job is catering to the 21 and up sector of the Gonzaga Kennel Club. So our juniors and seniors can purchase their Kennel Club membership. And then on top of that, they can also spend a little bit extra money to become part of the social club, which they get a super cool custom baseball jersey that was also designed by the graphic designer. um, so they get those, and then they get access to on-campus beer gardens. We do game watches at local bars and pre-games before any big basketball games on campus, or sometimes baseball too, if we have the time. Because I also was involved with Kennel Club my sophomore year, but I never got to see spring because we got booted home for COVID. So it's my first spring on the Kennel Club board. So excited to see what comes from that. But
Yeah, that's something that obviously um, you guys, as the Kennel Club, being college age students, have had to navigate this weird COVID world. Where 2 years ago you said, things shut down. Last year, people weren't able to go to the games. This year, I felt a renewed sense of energy and enthusiasm for on-site games, and I've heard that from a number of different Kennel Club members. You being a senior, how have you tried to kind of stay in the moment for all these different type of events that you can now be a part of again?
totally. Yeah, it's been weird. My sophomore year, I was on the board and loved it. It was honestly one of the things that kept me at Gonzaga. I wasn't sure that Gonzaga was my place when I first got there, but then met all the cool people on the board and got really involved on campus, and it just started to feel like home. And then we got booted home. And then junior year, I missed out on the application. So I didn't get to be on Kennel Club board as a junior. So coming back as a senior and being back on the board and back with a group of like-minded individuals who love Gonzaga more than anything, it's just been a really special experience to be back in the kennel and doing Zombie Nation with all these people that love Gonzaga just as much as I do. And yeah, it was a weird moment on senior night to look around and be like, wow, this is it. Like, I still feel a little bit like a sophomore. But it's bittersweet because I'm grateful to be in there at all, but definitely bummed out for the time that we all missed.
So, as the media, or excuse me, the social club coordinator, you mentioned you organize different watch party events off campus for the 21 and up crowd of students that can get into games, or excuse me, get into bars.
Mhm.
Jack and Dan's, that's where I'm partial to. A lot of it is because of the Stockton connection. But how do you guys discern and decide which drinking establishment to set up shop at that night?
Yeah, so this year we've had we were lucky enough to have our sponsor Osprey and the Ruby River Hotel. So they've got a big patch on our baseball jerseys this year. So we've had a couple game watches over there, which was really fun. They opened up their whole big ballroom to us and put us up on the big screen and had some buffets. So that was a really fun one that we had. And then had two game watches at the Logan Tavern. They were super great. Honestly, don't know if we should go back though, because the last two times we've had our game watches there were the two games that we've lost. But they were great and hosted us. We had a really great time. But the things we usually look for are they can supply buffet style food, because with social club, if we're providing, or not providing, but if we're allowing students to drink alcohol, we have to provide them with food. That's like the university rule. So we have to look for bars that can supply enough food for 300 kids. And then that's the other thing is capacity. We have 500 social club members.
Wow.
So we like to make sure that at least, near half can get into the bar.
I had no idea there were that many. No, I knew there was that many Kennel Club members, but social club members. That's awesome to see that students that have been a part of the Kennel Club for so long have stayed with it through their junior and senior years. When you look at your time at Gonzaga and being at games, do you have a favorite game or a favorite moment that you're going to kind of cherish when you head away from Spokane and Gonzaga?
Yeah. Two big moments come to mind. One was an in-person game, and one was the one everybody talks about, the one we all saw on TV last year. But my favorite moment was actually before I was on the Kennel Club board. I was just a crazed fan, a freshman. And so I would think I was in like the ninth row, like not the greatest seats, but I was right in the middle. And it was the University of Washington Gonzaga game when Rui hit the buzzer beater, and it was about as close as I've ever gotten to storming the court. That was a crazy game. It was so fun. And then, all the Kennel Club members that I didn't know yet were like, stay in the stands, because we all get, big old fine if you storm the court. But that was a really fun moment and kind of solidified the feeling of what it means to be a Zag sport fan. So.
Well, I'll just put this out there. Hopefully, at some point, the Kennel does storm the court, and I'll put this on record. Coach Few needs to pay that fine if there ever is one.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's worth it. I watched that the Gonzaga St. Mary's game, and obviously that was a bummer outcome for us, but it was pretty cool to watch them all storm their little tiny court. Kind of reminds me of ours. Ours is a little bit bigger, but watching them storm the court, I was a little bit jealous that we don't get to. But.
So with the WCC tournament and the NCAAs coming up right around the corner, does the social club stay involved in setting up events at these games or tournament sites, or does that fall on maybe the guy or a different entity to organize things?
Sure. So our whole trip has been coordinated by Blake Fry, who's our Vegas coordinator. He's another senior on the super awesome kid, working his butt off since June on this project. But social club's role, really the only thing was if you're part of Kennel Club, as in general, like if you're a Kennel Club member, you get a discount on the Vegas pack, which is like the wristband that gets you in onto the clubs and day parties and alumni socials and stuff. So you get a discount if you're a Kennel Club, but social club's not really involved with Vegas.
Well, Cameron, I appreciate the time. Thanks for joining. It's always great for Gonzaga Nation SI to connect with a current Kennel Club member. So thanks for your time, and go Zags.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Go Zags.